All right, there we go.
We're good. Thank
We're good.
you. All right. Welcome everyone to the Corporation of the Township of Bonnechere Valley regular council meeting. It is Tuesday, April 16th, 2024, and it is 5:32 p.m. We are meeting in council chambers and by Zoom conferencing. And I am calling this meeting to order. Are there any additions to the agenda? I have one addition and one amendment. I'm adding Kevin McGrath's resolution for the sole source. And we do have a change to the heritage resolution. So at this time, I have a resolution dated the 16th day of April 2024 that the agenda be accepted as amended. May I have a mover and seconder, please? Moved by Brent, seconded by John. All in favor? And that is carried. Is there any pecuniary interest or the general nature thereof? I see none. As we gather this afternoon, we acknowledge on behalf of this council and our community that we are meeting on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people. We thank the Algonquin people and express our respect and support for their rich history. We are extremely grateful for their many and continued displays of friendship. We also thank all the generations of people who have taken care of this land for thousands of years. And at this time, I have a resolution dated the 16th day of April 2024 that the minutes of the regular council meeting held on April 2nd, 2024, as amended or presented, be hereby adopted. May I have a mover and seconder to get it on the floor, please? Moved by Tracy, seconded by Brent. Were there any errors or omissions? Seeing none, all in favor? Wonderful. We have no delegations this afternoon. I have and reports have been filed. I have a resolution dated the 16th day of April 2024, whereas direction has been given to staff. Now be it resolved that the correspondence be filed. May I have a mover and seconder, please? Moved by Brent, seconded by John. Anything further on correspondence? All in favor? That is carried. Was there anything on the check register or board report? I see none. All right. So my apologies. I have a resolution dated the 16th day of April 2024, whereas Section 259 of the Municipal Act provides that the seat of a member becomes vacant if the member is absent from the meetings of the council for 3 successive months without being authorized to do so by resolution of the council. And whereas Councillor Buchwald last attended the committee meeting held on February 20th, 2024, and whereas Councillor Buchwald was first absent from council on March 5th, 2024, and has been absent since that date due to a recent surgery. Now, therefore, be it resolved that council authorizes the absence of Councillor Buchwald to continue until September 2024, should he need this time to ensure a full recovery before he resumes his duties as a member of council. May I have a mover and seconder, please? Moved by Brent, seconded by John. All in favor? Thank you. That definitely makes me feel better. All right, I have a resolution dated the 16th day of April 2024, whereas Ontario has more private, non-native, exotic wild animal keepers, roadside zoos, mobile zoos, wildlife exhibits, and other captive wildlife operations than any other province. And whereas the province of Ontario has yet not developed regulations to prohibit or restrict animal possession, breeding, or use of non-native, exotic, wild animals in captivity. And whereas non-native wild animals can pose very serious human health and safety risks, and attacks causing human injury and death have occurred in the province. And whereas the keeping of non-native wild animals can cause poor animal welfare and suffering and poses risk to local environments and wildlife. And whereas owners of non-native wild animals can move from one community to another even after their operations have been shut down due to animal welfare or public health and safety concerns. And whereas municipalities have struggled, often for months or years, to deal with non-native wild animal issues and have experienced substantive regulatory, administrative, enforcement, and financial challenges. And whereas the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, the Association of Municipal Managers, Clerks, and Treasurers of Ontario, and the Municipal Law Enforcement Officers Association have indicated their support for World Animal Protection's campaign for provincial regulations of non-native wild animals and roadside zoos in letters to the Ontario Solicitor General and Ontario Minister for Natural Resources and Forestry. Therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Bonnechere Valley hereby petitions the provincial government to implement provincial regulations to restrict the possession, breeding, and use of non-native wild animals and licensed zoos in order to guarantee the fair and consistent application of policy throughout Ontario for the safety of Ontario citizens and non-native wild animal population. And be it further resolved that this resolution will be forwarded to the Premier of Ontario, Ontario Solicitor General Mike Kersner, Ontario Minister for Natural Resources and Forestry Graydon Smith, and MPP John Yakubuski, AMO, AMCTO, and MLEAO. May I have a mover and seconder, please, to get it on the floor? Moved by Tracy, seconded by John. Discussion. All in favor? Thank you, Council. Now, this is the one I have. Just give me one moment. All right. I have a resolution dated the 16th day of April 2024, and this is a change from the one in your package. Whereas subsection 2716 of the Ontario Heritage Act stipulates that any non-designated heritage property listed on the municipal register of properties as of December 31st, 2022, shall be removed from the municipal register on or before January 1st, 2025, if the council of the municipality does not give notice of intention to designate the property under subsection 29(1) of the Ontario Heritage Act on or before January 1st, 2025. And whereas municipal staff need more time to review, research, and determine which properties should potentially be designated in accordance with the provisions of Section 29 of the Ontario Heritage Act, and take all required steps to designate such properties. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Council authorizes the Mayor to promptly send a letter to Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, and Michael Ford, Minister of Citizenship and Multiculturalism, requesting that subsection 2716 of the Ontario Heritage Act be amended to extend the above noted deadline for 5 years from January 1st, 2025 to January 1st, 2030. May I have a mover and seconder, please, to get it on the floor? Moved by John, second by Brent. Discussion. All in favor?
No.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, John.
That's all right.
Oh,
Okay, go ahead, John.
That's all right. The way I read this was, we're not expressing support or opposition. We just need more time for municipalities to come to correct decisions before we go there.
you are correct, sir.
Okay.
Go ahead, Tracy.
So we talked about it earlier with the museum being the oldest building in town. Question, are any of the churches designated, or should they be designated as heritage buildings in our township?
Annette, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe places of worship fall under a different category.
They may, but I can tell you that they're not listed, because when I talked to Ontario Heritage, that's what they told me was the only building that they have listed in their registry right now is the museum. Now, maybe they are listed in a separate spot, like you said, not under the ministry I was speaking with. So the only one that applies to us at the moment is the museum. Not to say that others can't be designated, but at this point in time, the only one that would expire is the museum.
Okay, can we just confirm about places of worship?
Yeah.
Sure, I can reach out to the ministry and see if, like I said, when I talked to them, I said, which which buildings in Boulter Valley are heritage, and he said to me, there's only one. Now, yeah, it might not be under his ministry, it might be under another, so I'll ask.
I'm thinking
Well,
of
and-
these smaller ones, sorry, and the Anglican Church, for example, as, you know.
Well,
quite a-
and interestingly enough, in August, the Zion Church in Augsburg, it's
Yep.
their 150th anniversary.
Mhm. Yeah, I know this would be an important issue for Merv as well. You know, he's talked at length about the disappearing of our churches, right? And losing
Yeah.
reputation. So, you know, it'd be nice to think that we're proactively, you know, preserving these buildings if they warrant it, right?
Absolutely. If they qualify.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Well,
also wonder, does something like the bridge qualify?
Yeah. Or the remains below, right? Like the
Yes.
hill that used to be
Right.
there and everything else under the water.
Exactly.
I
Definitely.
will reach out to the ministry and see. This is specific to the Ontario Heritage Act, so it may be very specific things. That doesn't mean that they won't send me a different route to find out about churches or bridges or other things. So
Just if they should at least be listed.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. Anything further on this resolution?
No.
Good point. Very good point. And thank you for speaking up for Merv, Tracy.
No problem.
Cousin power.
That's right.
All right, then I will call the vote. All in favor. Thank you. And hopefully that buys us some time. All right. I have a resolution dated the 16th day of April 2024, whereas Enbridge Gas submitted a letter to the OEB urging them to dismiss the second ED motion without adhering to ensure that these proceedings on the provision of natural gas service to interested communities pursuant to government policy are not delayed. And whereas if the OEB decides to hear the second ED motion, Enbridge Gas respectfully requests that it be heard and dealt with as soon as possible to reduce the expected delays to project construction. And whereas council supports the local residents and businesses in the impacted communities that are interested in waiting for natural gas service. And whereas council believes that consumers should have the ability to choose the type of energy they use for their homes and businesses rather than special interest groups. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Bonnechere Valley supports Enbridge Gas application for a leave to construct application with the Ontario Energy Board for the Eganville Community Expansion Project and requests that the OEB dismiss the second ED motion. And further, that a copy of this resolution be sent to the Ontario Energy Board, Minister of Energy, MPP John Yakubuski, and Enbridge Gas. May I have a mover and seconder to get it on the floor, please? Moved by Brent, seconded by John. I see you in the background there. Discussion. Annette, it was my understanding that this second reading was not, or this second motion was not going to affect us.
Well, it
Are
sounds
we-
like it's, yeah, based on Enbridge's letter, like it is affecting all of the communities. I think is there 4 of them? There's us,
Yeah.
there's, is it Kawartha Lakes?
At the Roma conference, I was told that this would not affect us, so I am very, very, very upset. I was sort of assured. So maybe I'll get in touch with our contact at Enbridge because I mean, that was the plenary I led that all of you were at. But anyway, in any case, this has to go no matter what. So I will call the vote unless there was anything further. My apologies. All in favor? And that carries. I have a resolution dated the 16th day of April 2024, whereas the manager of recreation deems the purchase necessary through a sole source as per Part 5 of Procurement Bylaw 2023-017. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Council of the Township of Bonnechere Valley approve the purchase of a compressor from Simcoe Refrigeration for $84,876 plus HST. May I have a mover and seconder, please? Moved by Brent, seconded by John. Discussion. All in favor? I have a resolution dated the 16th day of April 2024 that bylaw 2024-017, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council, be read a first time, be deemed read a second time, be deemed read a third time and passed. May I have a mover and seconder, please? Moved by Tracy, seconded by Brent. All in favor? And I have a resolution dated the 16th day of April 2024 that the council meeting be adjourned at 5:47 p.m. Mover and seconder, please. Moved by, nobody wants to adjourn. Oh, I think I froze. There we go. Moved by Brent, seconded by Tracy. My apologies. Great work today, guys. Thanks very much, Annette. All in favor? We're adjourned.
Thank
Have a
you.
great evening.
You.
Hmm.